is Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes this week was on the Andrew Schultz Flagrant podcast, a podcast with 1.7 million subscribers on YouTube. And the reason that is important is because this is a very mainstream podcast, and it's always good to see professional wrestling fans get some shine and professional wrestling in the mainstream. I love to see that. If we can more normalize pro wrestling, maybe we'll have more pro wrestling fans. But I want to talk about some of the comments that Cody makes here. Let's get into it. I think we have this queued up.
Sat there, ordered pizza. Like, he always made a scene of himself. And I thought, okay, mowed the grass, Randy Orton in his trunks as well. Like, the Addams Family thing was probably pretty accurate. We were unique, unique family.
Mowed the grass in his trunks is so good.
So free the generation of tanning beds. Every wrestler under the sun would find an excuse to take their shirt off, whether they were in shape, not in shape. You had to be tan.
Yeah.
That was like a thing. So a lot of these old school wrestlers, if there's one thing that happens outside for 5 minutes, you'll turn around and like Arn Anderson's got his shirt off. Like, what are you doing? Tan. The tan.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
I was watching a lot of just clips in general, and there's something I picked up on. There's the high flying like acrobatic moves.
Yeah.
Right. And I don't know if those are as satisfying as like the moves that kind of tell a story.
Sure.
So you were talking about the Undertaker choke slam.
Yeah.
To me, that is cooler than someone doing like a triple backflip and whatever. And I'm trying to understand.
I don't understand how the choke slam tells the story, but triple backflip doesn't. They're both moves, right? How moves work in and of themselves, they're just moves. When they're done in different ways, they're done in certain times. Yes, that does tell the story. But also, everyone's not doing a choke slam. Not everybody is doing a triple backflip either. It's just different styles, guys.
Why that is. Go.
I think it's so I'm of the belief it's both. I love, especially with
if you can do both.
If you can do both.
But there's some that are too acrobatic.
Well, if you just do again, the guy who trained me, Al Snow, he said, like, I love fireworks. We go see fireworks once a year. It's awesome. Fireworks once, twice a year, whatever it may be. He would look at high spot wrestling, the bigger flips, we call them high spots, the really crazy stunts, and he'd say they're fireworks. It's not that they're not good, but if there's no attachment to them. Has to be an attachment to them. Mm-hmm. So this is the big argument that wrestlers have.
Very good point. Spent many, many years working with Al Snow, and I've heard him say that exactly. If the moves don't make sense, why are we doing them? If they're not moving towards the finish of a match, like one of the things that he always used to push to people is, what's your finish? If your finish is a kick to the head, super kick, you should be targeting the head with your moves. If you're doing all moves that target the legs, the body, the ankles, it doesn't make sense if your whole thing you're building up to is the finish of the match. And if you have a special move that targets a head, you should probably be softening up the head, which I agree.
I have
that's just
a lot
psychology.
of young and Gen Z, and I have a wrestling school in Georgia, and I find this with a lot of the kids. They want to do all the crazy stuff. And I don't want to be the old like curmudgeon, so I don't discourage. Do it all, but please also like work on how you speak, work on what that character might be, open yourself up, because if you do the moves, make them worth it. If you do this really crazy move that could risk your neck and your back, and you want to do it on every night, at least let them love you or let them hate you so that it works for you. And I feel the more linked you get to the crowd, there's a term in our business, over, I don't think any of the young generation is over minus Roman. I think over is the can't.
Damn, you don't think anybody is over besides Roman Reigns? And I guess like if you're considering over to be like Austin levels over, okay. The Rock levels over, okay. I get that. But I feel like that's also a different time. Where we were in pro wrestling when those guys were over is drastically different, and the fans are different now. I think the way that we consume wrestling is different. So I think much like the moves and everything changes with the time, just like we watched that old George Hackenschmidt match, I think our definitions have to change as well.
step out of here without 50 people like
Stone Cold.
Yes.
The Rock.
I think there's a
Quoting everything you say.
I think there's a group of people who are getting over and they're on their way. And what I've noticed, hopefully kind of being in that group, is that they care enough that you can do less and get more. But when you say less is more to a 19-year-old kid at the Nightmare Factory or someone who's been hustling on the indies for 10 years, they think you mean be lazy. I don't mean be lazy. I mean, fine. You're great at that flip. Yeah. What's your catchphrase?
Be efficient.
What's your thing? Do something, like promos used to be all the business was. Now it's a combination, a little bit of it all. But yeah, it's tricky how you verbalize it to others.
There's an interesting thing I also noticed with some of your moves, right? The Crossroads move specifically. I don't even know the terminology for this, but you can reverse somebody's move into it.
Yeah.
Which is very exciting.
Yeah.
Like somebody's putting you in a suplex or whatever like that. The opposite reaction is the Crossroads. Yeah. It's the quickest path between two divergent stories, right? It's like he's about to get crushed, it's over, and he's on top. He can finish the match. Yeah, it is. It literally is a misdirect. So I've been trying to like reverse engineer a wrestler in my head.
Yeah.
Has WWE figured this out? Like, what are the things that make a wrestler good? Or does there always have to be some authentic, organic flair?
Yeah. I think recruitment is where you think authentic, organic flair. Recruitment, and this is all on Shawn Michaels, Triple H, and Nick Khan. This is kind of making up the future of WWE. If they recruit a gymnast, and they see Tiffany Stratton as a gymnast, we'll use as an example. They see her do her athletic stuff, the gymnast element of it. Great.
They can code. They try to coach the personality.
But one conversation can also say, oh, no, there's a thing here. There's a thing. That's the most. You can't just take. We've actually had some athletes come in who are the greatest athletes.
You're getting D1 guys now.
But they didn't have that little thing. That Kurt Angle's the greatest example of all. Olympic gold medal.
Yeah.
But what did it for Kurt and people?
All right, where is this? I'm looking for this clip. I can't seem to find it. We're gonna go to another video that kind of discusses that. Let's talk about.
Hello there, my very good friends. On today's wrestling news, Cody Rhodes thinks body shaming wrestlers is okay.
An AEW Originals contract has expired.
Gonna tell you why the Young Bucks are going on hiatus.
And Eric Bischoff is back.
About this Cody Rhodes body shaming thing, I figured that as two of the most jacked guys around,
hell yeah,
we were the perfect dudes to unpack the true nuance of this, right? So Cody was on the podcast called the Flagrant Podcast, and he had some interesting things to say about wrestlers' physiques. It's gotten a lot of people talking, so let's break it down a little bit. I'm going to read you some stuff here. He was speaking about Gunther primarily and talking about his journey from getting into the shape that he is in today. Obviously, when he was on the indies, he was a little bulkier. Yeah. He's slimmed down, he's leaned out.
You look at the side-by-side pictures, it's like a different person.
It's crazy.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's a hell of a job. Like, he's done a hell of a job. I think he looked great before, but I also think he looks great now. It's like two different.
Yeah, a part of me misses the
big boy
guy. But
yeah, like it's a good wrestling physique, like the classic giant heel who's not overly jacked. But we'll talk about various physiques in a bit, I guess. Cody Rhodes, he was talking.
Rate them.
yeah, that could be our next video. 100 bodies rated out of 10. Cody said, "This is a vanity business. There's this weird online contingent that doesn't realize how important physique is. We're wrestling with our shirt off, folks. It's okay to go to the gym." And if you hear fans be like, "You can't body shame wrestlers," what are you talking about? We're standing here half naked and you're paying hundreds of dollars to see us. Body shame me all you want. He continued a little bit. Wrestlers, you can tell they're in the best shape of their career if they want that they want it. So you can tell when they're
all right, that's what he's talking about, right? I don't know where it is in this thing. This is a 2-hour and 12-minute interview. I'm not watching all of it. I don't find Andrew Schultz to be that entertaining. I don't really get it. A lot of people like him. That's fine, whatever. So, having said that, right? I don't think, I'm in the realm of, I don't believe that you should body shame wrestlers based off the way they look. People come in all shapes and sizes. When you think about it, you watch things like the UFC, you watch boxing. A lot of the guys are muscular, but there's different shapes of guys. Like there's different weight classes. Some of these guys are small. The guy who's doing MMA at like 140 pounds looks different than Brock Lesnar, which is fine. But both of those guys can fight. Now, can they compete with one another? I don't know. This is a scripted television show. The fact that this is a scripted television show, you should have characters that are all shapes, sizes, who do different things, who look different than other people. Because if you have everybody look the exact same, there's no deviation. And I don't think that's interesting. It would be like having all jacked, big, strong guys on like, I don't know, NCIS? Like everyone looks different on NCIS. They all have different characters because that's the way the real world works. I think a lot of people have Vince McMahon brain when it comes to the way professional wrestlers look. And I think Cody is one of them. He grew up in that time. And I think it's going to take time for us to disassociate that from being making the mark of a good pro wrestler. But Vince McMahon and his obsession with big, strong boys has hurt wrestling at its core. I don't think that your size should stop you from being able to be a pro wrestler. I don't care if you're too small. I don't care if you're too big. Can you work in the ring? Can you make the fans feel something? That's the mark of. Think of like they're actors. And Gallifrey, I'll get to your point here in just a minute about Cody's father. They're actors. We have different actors. I don't know if you're aware, but Philip Seymour Hoffman looked a lot different than Arnold Schwarzenegger. He just did. And that's fine. We need different people to play different roles, and it's no different in the world of pro wrestling. Now, in regards, Gallifrey, what you're saying here in regards to Cody's father, I completely agree. I'm 100%. Like, Dusty Rhodes was a big guy. Like, I don't know if you're aware. This is Dusty Rhodes. For those who may not have an idea what Mr. Rhodes looked like, he's a big husky boy. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that Dusty Rhodes is an amazing wrestler. His abilities in the ring, his abilities on the mic as a promo is what drew people. Fall in love with this man. He was the everyman. And we have always liked the quote-unquote everyman. Now, in the 90s, it was Stone Cold Steve Austin. And Stone Cold Steve Austin had a hell of a physique on him. Hell of a body on him, kid. So I don't think, I think that character still works. But I think that Dusty Rhodes holds a special place in the heart of a lot of people because he looked like a guy that you would see around. But he had the gift of gab. He had that ability to make you fall in love with what was going on. I'm not sure if I completely agree with Cody on this. Look, there's people like Kevin Owens, right? Kevin Owens, husky guy. Kevin Owens wrestles with a shirt on. Sure if you know that, but he has done that for a long time. This is Kevin Owens. If you're unfamiliar with Kevin Owens, this is him. He's kind of, well, here's like a picture of him. He's pretty normal looking guy, right? But Kevin can go in the ring. He's one of my favorite wrestlers previously and currently. I think he's incredibly good. But because he doesn't fit the mold of what a WWE guy looked like back in the day, we're not going to give him a shot. He doesn't deserve an opportunity because he's got some weight on him. I just don't think that works. And coming from a guy like Cody, which is funny because he used to do the dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick back in the day, which was all about, I look better than you. I'm a handsome boy. You're not. And I get that, right? That is a easy take to have when you spend all your time and effort in the ring, in the gym, looking as good as Cody does. And props to Cody. You should be proud of the work that you've done with your body. You should be proud with the way that you look, because you look good, bud. Killing it. Keep doing it. But having said that, you don't need to be the blueprint for absolutely everything in wrestling. And that's the thing that's a problem that I have with the modern wrestling fans and takes in modern wrestling. Everybody wants everything to be so homogenized. Whether that's everybody saying that AEW needs to be more like WWE, or complaining about, for example, like flippy moves and things like that. First of all, WWE is a professional wrestling company. They do professional wrestling the way that they want to do professional wrestling, which is cool. Good. I'm glad that they have the abilities to tell the stories the way they want to tell with the people that they want to tell, the way they want to tell it. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? First and foremost, there's nothing wrong with WWE. The way they do wrestling, it's fine. It's a good mass market appeal. You need that kind of stuff because pro wrestling is still a very nerdy thing. With pro wrestling being so nerdy, it's important to have something that can appeal to mass audiences. Now, having said that, I do not believe that all pro wrestling should be exactly like WWE, looking to appeal to a mass audience. When you appeal to a broad category of people, it's going to be a mile wide and an inch deep. It's not going to have a lot of depth to it for people who are looking for a little more. That's why I think things like AEW is good. I like having some alternatives, because if you have an alternative, it can speak to people who need something different from their wrestling that's not being served through WWE. But we have so many people complaining every time AEW does something differently that people are like, well, it needs to be more like this. No, it doesn't. Your wrestling promotion, I think they should all be slightly different than each other. If we have one type of professional wrestling going on across the board, it's going to get stale. We need people who are willing to push the bounds of professional wrestling. And that's not just in ring. I mean, with the people in pro wrestling. For example, I don't know if you know, Haystacks Calhoun. This man is a massive wrestler back in the day. He is a big boy. He's big for our time. And he was an old British wrestling legend. And let's see if we can find a match. We got a match. Haystacks Calhoun. Let's see. Now this is from 1961. Take me to you. Chicago International Amphitheater.
601 pounds, Haystack Calhoun. From Camden, New Jersey,
And
weighing
Jazzy.
240 pounds.
Dude, the crowd's hot.
NWA
Crowd's
heavyweight
hot for it.
champion, Cody Rhodes.
And this is 50 years later from the match we watched earlier in the stream. 50 years.
Your referee,
That old world championship.
Dan Starbanek.
Hi, everybody. Russ Davis, ringside, International Amphitheater in Chicago. Well, this is a match that a lot of you folks have been waiting to see. It's the first time that we've had Haystack Calhoun in the amphitheater. And Buddy Rogers, as a defending champion, has to take on everybody. I don't think he would have chosen this one of his own free will. The belt is up for grabs. This is all 600 and some odd pounds of Haystack.
I think being a heel back in the
He
day was
carries,
better
you
than
know,
being a
as
good guy.
sort
being
of a
heel-
little
it is
good luck
easy,
charm
too.
in
Like,
his corner.
telling fans to shut up
A
back in the
mule
day,
shoe
you
and a
get-
well
that's
chain.
mad heat.
Sort of a lavalier for him. Break anybody else's back to carry it around. He's complaining about Buddy Rogers' manager, Bob Davis. No kin of mine being in the ring.
Get him out of the ring.
You're laughing
That's right.
at Kid Bob the Bat Masters in the wrestling. He always generally carries a cane. And Calhoun wouldn't even get in the ring with him tonight when he had that.
Just
He's
look at
been
some
in a
people
couple
wearing
of
shirts
ruckus.
and ties. I love that.
These little only tries to defend himself.
Get him out of
Calhoun
the ring.
is married.
Come on.
Has a tremendous appetite. Takes a dozen
get into the match.
legal and what's illegal here. No holes are barred except
Oh, so crazy.
knuckles, pickaxe handles, eye gouging. And for Calhoun, this is a scuffling match, as
Lay
he
low,
calls them.
place.
He wrestles
Replace.
barefooted. You can get an idea of his
Thank you.
size. Look, Buddy Rogers is just almost completely
boys.
hidden from view here. He is right there. He's out of sight.
Collar and elbow tie up. Oh, strike. A little
Over
European
see
uppercut
me in
there.
the morning. Y'all gonna make me mad, boy. I'm gonna wear you down to where you ain't no bigger than sharecropper size. You keep that.
Dude, I love the old school commentary. He's like doing voices for the wrestlers. I would love Michael Cole to be out there doing like Dominic, like, I'm Dominic Mysterio. I'm Dom. Like, doing goofy voices.
Right now.
Yeah, Haystacks Calhoun came out with that chain earlier. Shout out John Cena and the Chain Gang. Big Haystacks Calhoun mark.
Buddy's trying to make a sidemare out of this, and he might as well have a hold of the Empire State Building for all the good it does.
But look, you have two guys drastically different sizes and physiques.
Buddy's a strutter, and
look, the crowd
generally
is
has reason to
hot for
strut,
it. They're
but not
loud.
with this one.
Nice headlock.
Haystack, if you
mess up his
just cut
hair.
that hair now and then, why, wouldn't be such a tremendous opportunity. All that hair on your face. But I sympathize with you there. I hate to shave too.
He said, I hate to shave too.
And just took off like Buddy was a travail.
What?
He pushed Haystack and then went right along with him.
All right, boys, let's get into it. Come on. Get it moving. Oh, he's pulling the hair. He's pulling the
I
hair,
asked
Ref.
Haystack what he was doing when he had this headlock and he went
Inspection.
that way. But he said, I'm just making like I was pumping. Well, you get lost in all that blubber there, Clink. You'd almost need a scuba outfit.
Wow, this old school commentator must have been a big Cody Rhodes fan, saying you get lost in all that blubber there.
Y'all won't give up? Yell calf rope, huh?
Did I do rope breaks?
Shaw beef. Shaw beef or calf rope.
Referee the hair. Ref. All right, good job. He's pulling on the beard hair too.
This guy's neck's so big that Buddy can't even choke him.
Dude, his neck's so big Buddy can't even choke him. Oh, dude, they're just laying into Haystacks Calhoun here. And he's got the beard. We'll go with the beard. He's gonna grab the hair again. This is the type of wrestling from back in the day. Just a headlock and a foot stomp, guys. I don't know. I think we got it a lot better. Get him,
Well, at least
Haystacks.
the Blackhawks are winning.
He's got the.
The hockey team
He's got a
here
choke
in
on.
Chicago.
He's hiding it from the ref too. He's hiding. You can't see it. Oh, he's Buddy Rogers. There you go. Nice headlock there.
Well,
Get the
Buddy
big man
finally
down.
got out on top here and got himself a reverse chin lock.
Oh wow. Night. I'm surprised
This
he
is
didn't
with
call
fur
reverse
attached,
chin
it looks
slap,
like.
You know what I mean?
But he's just so big that he can't choke him. Buddy gets mad at the crowd. He calls them a house full of paid referees, or paying referees.
Oh, hair. Ref, get him off the hair. See, Buddy Rogers doesn't get, he's getting under that chin. There he goes, and he's choking him, man.
This is a big old boy. Blinky, I wonder if he has a cholesterol problem.
Bro, he said, I wonder if he has a cholesterol problem. This guy is infinitely better than anything Jerry the King Lawler has done on WWE television in the past 30 years. I'm sorry, King just was a pervert, and this guy is like, he's just letting him have it. I didn't know they knew
I would
about
certainly
cholesterol
think
in
so.
the 1960s.
His tongue's beginning to hang out here like a well rope in a dry summer.
Clock's now 5.
What the hell does he mean? Dude, they're just roasting Haystacks, yeah. There you go, nice punch.
This is in a weakened condition he's doing this.
Oh, back to the headlock. Look at Buddy, though,
And
getting
the
the
referee
reaction
and
from the crowd. crowd, though.
Buddy are having themselves a good jaw session there. Well, let's see if Haystack can lead him around to his wig.
Film Archives presents wrestling from Chicago. Watch it. I'm gonna watch it. Chicago wrestling, I guess. Get him. There you go. Oh, thumb to the eye. Referee, come on, ref.
Right in his big baby blue eye.
Oh, got him back.
Chocolate brown one.
So I think Haystacks is definitely wrestling as the babyface here. Nice deal. There we go. Nice.
Shoe, fly, shoe. Get away from the turn.
Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking, boys. Come on. Come on. He's begging off. He said no.
Haystack
No.
just walks
Please,
up
no.
to him and sits down,
There you
like
go.
so.
He's on holding the ropes too.
Somebody's out in the ring here. Oh, Haystack, you've got to get up.
Oh, that would have ended a match in 1908. That
Well, I
ended
will.
a match in
Seems I've had
1908,
my
babe.
setting.
I don't think Buddy Rogers is going to be able
I think
to
Buddy's
come back from this
figured,
one.
Long about this time, he'd rather be in showers, don't you think? Look at that guy. Oh,
that top
boy,
rope.
that weight right on one foot.
So cool.
Oh, see me.
Come on, Haystacks. Get him. Come on, Haystacks.
Well, this is part of a double windup here at the amphitheater tonight.
See,
One
here's
fall
the thing.
affair.
Back in the day, these guys would
I
have not
remember.
worked this match. And that, like, this is a lot easier than that shoot style match we watched earlier.
I was just sitting here at ringside looking at all of this animated blubber.
Dude, he keeps
Brother.
calling him fat.
Bowler said he'd never have any monstrosities around except that they were good ones, and brother, this is
He's
one.
choking him again.
He is
Distracting
so
the ref, he
big
can't-
that rough, tough Buddy Rogers, who generally can cope with anything, can't get anywhere.
Elbow. There you go. Nice elbow.
Tell you what, we're just going to mash you
There
up
you
the
go.
corner.
Put the body on him.
Yeah.
Put the body on him,
Just
Haystacks.
kind of make you part of them there ropes.
Oh, splash. Referee.
Flying water,
he's,
brother.
he's on the rope. He's on the rope.
One,
He's on the rope.
two,
They
three.
didn't have rope there. Spike, no rope.
Seems like brother Calhoun owns himself a fall at any rate. Or is this 2 out of 3, Clint? Well, George, I don't know.
He's begging off. He said, no, please, please, don't. I've had enough.
Well, now, it
I can't
can't
do it
be.
anymore. Let's take it home, boys.
Oh, Buddy was out from under the ropes, I
Oh,
guess.
it's a turnbuckle. They didn't have a lot of padding on those things back in the day either.
What are you doing, looking for his program? I don't think you'll find it in there. No. Somebody always, I think it's the electrician, swipes our program around here
Boom, right
every
to the
night
jaw.
that we're out here.
Those are some working punches.
A couple
right
of
there.
delicate little punches to the jaw.
Oh, he no-sold those punches and came right back. Come on, man.
This is a Morgan
Look at
Corners
that.
bear hug
He's heating
there.
up. Drop, oh,
Look
a
out.
drop kick to the back. Big man sent stumbling. Another drop kick.
Oh no!
Oh, the
The
ring
rope
broke.
broke.
The ring broke.
Good night. No! And that guy fell from almost
The ring
a
broke. Let's go.
semi-stoop
The
position
cops are
clear
there.
the
The
floor.
cops are there.
He'll never
I wonder if
answer the
they're,
count
like
of 10
independent
here.
wrestlers
It's
dressed
all
as
over
cops.
with. Buddy Rogers has won it, that's for sure.
Oh, he won? Oh, what a cool finish.
Tremendous man like that. The rope broke.
What a cool
One of the
finish.
few times I've ever seen the rope broken just by dead weight here in the amphitheater, but that one certainly sheared off right at the turnbuckle.
Sheared off of the
What
turnbuckle.
are we going to do about this? Come on out from there, Mr. Calhoun.
Where's Haystacks at? Some said he was never seen again.
Where'd he go, boys? It's like under the ring from the way they're lifting up. Did you see
There's
under
two
there?
cats in the front here.
Yep, that's
What's
where he
going
is.
on? Talking to the cop.
But
like,
he is a laid-out
what's
mess.
happening?
Head is split open. He's bleeding like a fountain.
Head split open.
Somebody
Juicy?
better do something.
Rolling to the ringside. Rolling to the ringside.
What was that to the ringside?
Yeah, I'm asking the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
commentator.
Well, we're trying to get the doctor over here to ringside.
That's insane.
Len, you might as well make.
But look, taking us back to the Cody Rhodes thing, wrestlers can be any shape and size, and they've always been different shapes and sizes. So I think that this idea that wrestlers can only be one thing is not a good idea for professional wrestling. By having different people, you're telling different stories. The story that you're telling there with Buddy Rogers and Haystacks Calhoun is Buddy Rogers is a very good wrestler. He was the champion at the time. But when you have a mountain of a man like Haystacks Calhoun, that's going to throw you off your game versus wrestling somebody who's roughly the same size as you. Those stories help establish characters and help show people something different. Like back when we were watching the wrestling from the early 1900s, both of those guys, both athletic dudes. Yes. If you had somebody out there like a Haystacks Calhoun, how are you going to get that man down? If that man gets on top of you, he's going to pin you. He's just too big. So I think that the performance of professional wrestling is always going to call for people who are different sizes. If we're just looking at, if you just want big, meaty men, like Vince McMahon, you want everybody to look like the Ultimate Warrior, Superstar Billy Graham, and Hulk Hogan, you can do that, right? There can be wrestling for that, no doubt, which is basically WWE. But I think that wrestling is the most pure and the most beautiful when there's different people doing different. I want to see the art of professional wrestling keep growing, keep changing as time goes on. And homogenation just isn't that, right? If you just have one type, that's not going to work. And a lot of people, they get upset. They're like, well, these guys doing all the flips and stuff like that. What's that about? But like Lucha Libre has been a thing for a long time. Like, let's look up some old Lucha. Lucha Libre 1900s. Let's see. Do we have like an old Lucha? What's our oldest Lucha Libre match? Let's see. Let's find an old one. Got like an old black and white. Extravagant wrestling match from the 1900. Oh, this is like this is like a movie. I don't think we're gonna watch this. No, we're gonna watch this now. Look at this. Oh, he knocked his head off! He broke his arms! Oh my god! EC dub! EC dub! EC dub! I'm so glad I clicked on this. He's back! Hey! Good match. Wait, what? Wait, what? Oh, wow. Great tag team, boy. Great job. That's... let's see. Can we find some old Lucha Libre? Dude, I don't know what that was, but I enjoyed. That was like a wrestling skit back in the day. Let's see. Let's find some old Lucha. That's 1997. That's not old. Come on. Did no one have like? Do we have any Lucha Libre from a long time ago? Here we go. I find some old. Let's see. On you. Come on. Classic Lucha Libre. Vice. That's not. 1980. All right, 1962, Lucha Libre. Here we go. El Santo, one of the legends of Lucha Libre. Now, we just watched that Haystacks Calhoun match. That was 1961. This is an El Santo match from 1962. Let's see what would be more interesting to watch for modern viewers. Now, this is only 3 minutes. There we go. Monkey flip off the start. I'm more entertained. Beautiful headlock takeovers. Hurricane Rana. Nice drop kick. Whoa, using the ropes. I like that. That's cool. You don't see that anymore. Jim Cornette would have been freaking out saying, like, they're hurting the business. Like, look at this. This is so much more entertaining than that Haystacks Calhoun match.
That fellow's not the Black Mask. He's been using karate on me, and he could kill me with one blow. Listen, I'll ask that they suspend the match, Sampson. No, I'm going to see this thing through to the end. But you're crazy. He's trying to murder you.
Starring wrestling superhero Santos.
Oh, this is a movie.
But we'll see. But regardless, right? They are showing what Lucha Libre looked like in 1962. That was more infinitely interesting than what was going on in 1961 in America. This is more akin to modern wrestling. And this is the thing that always gets me, is people saying, like, oh, well, they're just doing flips and doing crazy stuff and it's hurting the business. This has been the business for decades. For almost almost 80 years, this has been the business. I don't know what you want. Like, this is infinitely more